Welcome to the Leedz Edutainment Podcast, featuring in-depth interviews with people in hip-hop culture, based out of New England. Leeds. What's up, buddy?
How are you, man?
Good, man. You got it working over there? You up in your studio?
Yeah. Crazy. Good. Been busy, but a good busy.
You busy? No. Come on.
I know you're busy too.
I haven't seen you stop. You haven't seen you sit still since 2008.
It's so true, man. If I didn't like work during the day, I feel like, I'm not making excuses. I just meant like if I was doing it all day, you know what I mean? Like I feel like if I was able to, travel as much as, like I could, I feel like we'd be even further than we are,
I hear you, man. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Leedz Edutainment Podcast. Very special guest, rapper, producer, some might say a giant pain in the ass, depending on who you're talking to. My man, M. How are you?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
And I was just joking about the pain in the ass.
That's all right.
So yeah, man, you got the studio set up. It's I was trying to think, when did we meet? Was it 2008? I'm trying to think. 7?
So I remember, I don't remember the year, but I remember I had done a bunch of shows in college and we started gaining traction, but I hadn't done anything in Boston. And I remember the first show that we did was at Great Scott. Great Scott, obviously. And we had you had Big City, which was Psycho Less's side project from Beat Nuts.
Right. Yeah.
And it was my first Boston show. And first, like really, like I said, inner city show at that time, because I'd done everything, college shows at Assumption College, MCLA College, which was dope because they had budgets. So I made more money then. And it took me another like 7-8 years.
Budgets.
7-8 years to stop making that money again, which was, we had to put in obviously a lot of work. But we did the Great Scott and Big City, Psycho Less's group bagged out like the day of the show. And I had like no bullshit because it was my, I had probably back then, I think I had like 50, 60 people of my people going. So you go, I'm going to have you, fill in as the headliner. And it was really cool. I remember Slane came through and he rocked a little bit right before I went on. It was a good start to me, performing in the city. And Great Scott now is gone, right?
Yeah, no longer there. Went down with COVID.
That's crazy. I mean, and they just named it. I haven't even looked. They have a different venue there.
I don't think it's been rented yet. I feel like I went by there the other day and there's nothing in there yet. They're still trying to figure it out.
That was for me like something, super cool because we hadn't, to come to the city and rock there. And that's in Austin, technically, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's a section of Boston, though.
Yep. And
from there, you go off and running. And I'm going to go there in a second, but I want to go back a little bit. Is it born and raised in Revere? Is that what it was?
Correct. Yeah. I lived in, technically I grew up, I was a kid, but I left East Boston when I was 5. My mother moved out of East Boston. She always tells a story that she was walking me in the carriage and she heard gunshots on like a side street that we lived off of. And she's like, we got to get not that, I'm saying that happens everywhere, but we moved to Revere. Not that Revere was so much better, but we went to Revere. I was in Revere till I was 20. And then I moved to Lynn. I was in Lynn for like 11 years. And now I'm in Peabody,
Yeah, I think when I met you, you were living in Lynn, because for years I thought you were from Lynn. I thought that was
no. Revere for sure. Revere is where I grew up. Revere is like all my early friendships and shit.
Yeah. I was actually born in Lynn.
Oh,
Lynn
really?
Hospital.
You know what? You told me that.
Yeah. It's not there anymore. So there's a Stop and Shop there or something. I don't even.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only time I've been to Lynn. So. I didn't realize this. I was looking up your stuff. You went to college and you were actually an English major. Is that what I read?
Yeah. I graduated with my English degree and Yeah, man. I
I would never have thought that you went to college for an English. But it
wow,
makes sense
really?
with the writing and the rapping, it would make sense.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, I'm not a teacher currently, but I did get my degree, and it's one of the best things for me too, because a lot of my relationships, with music was in college. A lot of relationships I still have today, like the EMS crew and stuff like that, and like the homies that like I still sometimes book shows with, and all these years later, you know what I mean. So we're gonna shoot a video for the song we did with Eric Sermon, and we're gonna shoot it at UMass Amherst. And because of one of my homies that I played college basketball with, his wife played at UMass Amherst, we're gonna shoot it at the court at you, or hopefully, God willing, we'll see. But again, relationships from college.
So you said Assumption College is where you went?
My cousin went there, but we performed there at Assumption College. Yeah. I went to Pittsburgh State is where I graduated.
Pittsburgh. Nice, yep. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So Revere, right? So is Revere Beach is legendary? I know I never went to Revere Beach, but is it as legendary as the legend it says about it? Or?
It's some dirty water, that's for sure. Like,
did you ever swim in it?
I don't think I ever went in there, man. I'm not posed. I just remember there was like, I don't want to disparage Revere Beach, but it's just nasty, man. There was needles and shit, and like this is not a beach that I would promote back then, So at least that's the way I looked at it. I liked going to Revere Beach to go to Kelly's or Bianchi's, the pizza place, but I didn't go swimming there. I'm not a beach guy, man. I don't like getting the sand all over me and bringing it in my car. It's not my thing,
The South Boston has changed a lot, and they have beaches, but those beaches were just as bad as probably Revere Beach.
I'm sure.
Because it's a bay, it's not really like out into the ocean. So Southie's like a bay. But I don't know if they cleaned it up, but it's a lot better than it was. But Southie natives at the time, like we never swam in it.
No way. I don't think I ever went swimming in the Revere Beach. We used to go to like a neighbor's pool, above ground shitty pool. To me, with a cesspool was better than Revere Beach, So, but
that's funny.
Yeah, for sure.
So like
I saw at the gym a couple years ago when I was staying in Boston for a little bit. I remember seeing you at the gym over there, Gold's Gym. I'd see you over there.
Oh, in Southie?
Yeah, Southie? They still got that, right? That Gold's Gym over there.
No, that got sold. They're selling that building. I don't know what they're gonna do with it.
So that's gone too?
Yeah, they're out.
I used to sneak in that gym. I used to sneak in the back door because I'm so cheap. I used to go in the back door, sneak in the side door. I swear to God.
How did you just pull that off? They didn't care. Yeah, they don't have like a very strict employees there checking IDs.
I just didn't want to get the membership. It was like 30 a month or something, or 40 a month. And I was like, I just want to go to the gym. I was in town and I'll just go to the back door. Plus I talk my way into everything. The person at the front I talk to. But yeah, yes. Anyway, I used to see you there in Southie. Another place that closed.
Yeah. So did what did I see here? You described your rhyming as multiple syllable rhymes, correct?
I don't know if I described it as that, but I do rhyme. I try to have.
Well, it says it. It says it in your bio on Spotify. Yeah. So I mean, I would say that you have said that.
Really? I don't think it's on Spotify, but maybe. Yeah.
Maybe it was on Wikipedia. No, it was on Wikipedia.
Okay. Wikipedia, they could put anything, but you know what it is? Wikipedia, a lot of the stuff that they write is outsourced from newspaper articles and shit. So if one writer says that, that's what it is. But I think that I like to do a lot of syllables and shit, but as I still do it, but I started to slow it down. Like I'm still doing the syllables, but I wanted people to hear what I was saying. I didn't want to go so fast that it was too much for them. I wanted to make my songwriting better. That's where we're at now, Did
the English degree help with that? I'm curious.
For sure. I'm so sick of, I'd have to read a lot in college, so much that I feel like reading makes me sick right now, like compared to what I used to do in college, because we'd have to read so many books. And This is before, now I'm going to really age myself or date myself. Back then we didn't have like crazy iPhones where we could look up all the answers. You know what I'm saying? So I had to read the book, or get the footnotes like Brad Pitt in the movie Seven, when he gets all the footnotes and shit when he's looking, what's that shit called? Cliff Notes or whatever.
Yeah.
And you get to see the ending. I actually had to read the book And most of it, that did help. Writing, especially anybody tell you all the stuff the more you read, that will definitely help your vocabulary,
Absolutely.
for sure.
100%. I just can't see you sitting down reading a book. I just can't picture
A
that.
lot of people say that. It was difficult, and I definitely skimmed through a lot of shit. But
A lot.
Yeah, for real. No, but I got my degree, so I had to finish most of the papers for sure. And
impressive.
Yeah, it helped big time. Writing.
Good.
Yeah, big time.
I was always good at writing too. That was like the only class I was accelerated in school. If you can believe
I didn't like
that.
math. I don't like math.
I could do math. Math I was good at. Writing I was good at. The other stuff I wasn't very good at.
Math
I was okay.
It just gets boring for me. Math. It's like it's the same thing. It just gets longer. The problem,
Well, I would say that like a self-proclaimed cheapo that you just called yourself would know your math pretty well.
Yeah. Oh,
because you're pinching pennies.
when it comes to that,
your math is great.
Man, I'm all business with like we make decent money now, like more than I mean I shouldn't even say that, but like we make good money from
Rob
side hustle. But I'm about I save my money, so
yeah. And you got kids and a family.
Yeah, that's another reason to be cheap. It's not about me. That's another reason I don't buy a ton of stuff for myself.
No, don't lie. Don't front. You were cheap way before the kids came. Don't lie. I knew you.
I had my first kid in 2007. So there you go.
You think you just had your first kid when I met you?
Yeah, you said 2007, right? 2008.
Yeah.
That was my first kid was born. Yeah. But yeah, I was cheap before that too. Absolutely.
Yeah. We all are. I want to go. So after the show, you really made your presence known. That first show we did, you were kind of off and running from there. And when I was reading, I was trying to go through the timeline. It seems like one of your first big cosigns who took you on tour was Crumb Snatcher. Is that right?
Yeah. So Crumb, I remember calling you both when I first worked with Crumb, because I remember we were talking about Snatcher season. And
dope.
Crumb, I mean, like probably more than anybody. I mean, 7L too. Shout out to 7L. Actually, he gave me this shirt yesterday. Fucking dude's the nicest human on earth. But Crumb was like really integral because, we had planned to do a show in Switzerland. He had planned to do a show and I was going to be the opener. And this is a crazy story. He couldn't make the show. And like, he told me the date of the flight. He called me up. He's like, I can't make it, And I called the DJ Stress, perfect name. And I was like, yo, we got to go. He's like, nah, man, we can't go. Like, he's like, how are we going to go without Crumb? I was like, Crumb, they bought us tickets. And Crumb said, just go. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I went and like, I literally talked him into driving from Connecticut. And then this is our first time going out there. You know what I mean? And we did really well at the show. And they've been booking us ever since. This is like, I think 2009. And at the time, brother, there wasn't too many people that had really toured Europe, truthfully, from Boston. Like obviously Guru would set the mark. And then they had that tour that Suge, Edo, the special teams with Big Suge and stuff, they had went, you know what I mean? But like a lot of guys hadn't gone there like that, like back then, even still now. And we made a good relationship. And then now we've been there 13 times, flown, everything, so.
Yeah, I saw that. And that all started from you doing that show out in Switzerland?
Yeah, it was at Zurich.
Not even there?
It was at Club Dome.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget this. We did a good show. Obviously, it was like special for us just to be performing in another country, younger, super younger. And I was like, I was getting off the stage, and this is like I said, 2009 or so. They wanted everything, like the boots, my hat, like they want to buy everything, like because they're ahead of us now. But back then, not everyone that I'm certain of this, not everyone there was wearing Timbs or like New Era fitteds and stuff. Like they didn't have the ability to buy that at every store. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like they have it everywhere. And I just meant that it wasn't just that stuff, but they wanted me to sign everything. So we sold I didn't even have enough merch. Like I said, I was selling like mixtape CDs that were in the jewel cases. They were like not professional, put out records that we have now,
And that was in Switzerland. And how many people were at that show?
Probably only, it wasn't even like, It was so freestyle from the arsonist, my homie, you know, the arsonist, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Freestyle. He ended up filling in. So it was me and him for the show. And it was probably like 75, 80 people. It wasn't a ton of people, but all 75 people were into it like it was like the most important show that they've ever seen, you know. And then we, like I said, we all 75 of those people bought stuff and stayed in contact and or whatever. Like they would write me on MySpace, I think is what we had at the time, like, you know, come back. The crazy part of that story though is Crumb had gone on the show and I was like, oh, word. Let me I'd love to open up for you. Obviously, we have this record Gotta Be that Teddy Rockspin produced. Teddy Rockspin, who now, you know, has done so many things. This was like him as a 17, 18-year-old kid. I don't even think he was 18. It might have been 16 or 17, excuse me. And he was like, we had this record, we did the video for it in Worcester. And I was like, Crumb, I want to get on this, you know, but I don't want him to like, I get asked all the time, hey, take me on tour, take me on tour. I'm like, yo, fuck this. I'm going to get it myself. I wrote Karimbo, a producer from Switzerland, who I knew had sent me beats before. He knew the promoter. I'm like, get me on this show, blah, blah, blah. I sent him my stuff. They were like, okay, you know, let's get him as, you know, the opener / hype man for Crumb. That's how I got on that show. Like, I was hitting up, you know, the Switzerland cats. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, I made that happen. Crumb was the segue to it, you know. But I the squeaky wheel shit, man. I'm fucking living proof of that.
You really are. That should be the name of the album. Dude. Squeaky wheel. Like, seriously.
We've done stuff. There's many dope MCs that, you know, we've done stuff that I've dreamed of just off of like, you know, being like hustling my ass off and staying consistent. Persistent.
And I will give you props for that because I saw it first eye. I was like, you know, people, you know, I know you address a lot of people because a lot of people, so-called haters or doubters or whatever you like to call them, we're like, why is this guy moving so fast? And we're not moving as fast as this guy. And I'm like, because he's moving that fast and like he's relentless. I'm like, he is relentless with what he's doing right now, and that's why he's making moves. And some people just didn't want to work like you worked. And the thing is, like, that's how you got success was because you put in extra work.
I genuinely never, I'm not even like, I never, maybe it's because it's like, that's how it is, but I never saw the hate. I still don't. Maybe because I'm smiling.
Yeah, you did. You heard it. You remember what, I'm not going to say his name, dissed you on stage in a battle. You saw the hate.
Oh, but
I know you saw the hate. I know you saw the hate because I hear it in the lyrics. People doubt me.
No, that's a chip. That's a Tom Brady. I'm not Tom Brady. That's a thing that I create. I tell myself, why am I not here? Man, I'm winning Boston Music Awards and getting flown to Europe. And, you know, now like legends without money or, you know, putting me on records.
No, I know.
I can't complain. I just meant that was a motivation, you know?
Yeah.
Man, that dude, we're talking about a nobody. You know what I mean? Like I went to that show in person and called him out and said, what's up? And he's like, no, I'm just joking. That was, I think in my like truest heart saying this, I genuinely never felt any bad energy because when I was around, people could tell that I was a good dude and I worked my ass off, you know?
I think they did. I think once they got to know you, that you were all, you know, you were very positive. But I think anyone in a competitive market, there's going to be some envy there with someone succeeding. You know what I mean? Unfortunately.
I use that, like I said, I use that as motivation. When I would see people doing more than I would, I'm like, yo, I got to work harder. I got to do more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so like that's all I meant. It was like, yo, you got to give this dude, like you said, eventually his props. Like I never felt like I was in like any clique, but I was cool with everybody. I had my own home team, which was the best thing about it. Because for me, the guys that I came up with, they're the most loyal human beings on earth because they've been with me, riding with me, showing love since, you know, day one. And there's no like we're like trying to pull me up with, you know what I mean? There's no like, a lot of groups, they hate on each other. Like groups that are like, I should be me. I should be in the spotlight. I want one of the guys from EMS to shine because it helps me. I mean that, you know? And
no, I know you do.
They would give me the credit because I would do the work when they would have a job or they'd go back to a relationship. I would do that shit still when I was fucking exhausted at 4 a.m. after, you know, whatever, working or having the kid or staying up with the baby. Like I would still do it. There was no like me falling back or you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but I still have those same guys. That's me choosing the right people around me. I'd say 90% of the crews I seen coming up, either aren't doing it or they're not close knit together still. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm talking about like the cruise of friendships that I saw, like, you know. So
shout out EMS. Can you list all the members in there? Because I forget everybody.
It's you know, you obviously know Rev. Rev is
obvious,
like,
yeah,
integral, but he's like, the thing about Rev, he's selfless. He does everything from home. Like, you know, he comes out to shows. But I put it this way: I had a show with the radio show with DJ Premier. He had me come on as Shade 45, and like not many rappers of Boston rap been on his station, so that was an honor for me. I asked Rev, "You want to go?" He's like, "I can't make it. I got work." Man, like there's people.
Damn you, shame you, Rev.
He's a great MC and he's a great guy, but he didn't care about the shine. Like his voice, people hear him on records and he sounds like, you know, an early Fat Joe or his voice. You know what I mean? He's from the Bronx.
He's a big guy too, isn't he?
But what does it say again?
He's a big guy, right?
Big dude.
Yeah,
and he's from the Bronx. But anyways, he's not looking for that. He wasn't ever looking for that clout. He was like happy to like help out behind the scenes, but it'll still come. He's like, put it this way: when I go to Europe, he's only been once with me. He's not like, he doesn't care. So like, if I can get him there and get him flown out, like he'll come anyway. But he don't ask me, you know. And anyway, he's a selfless dude. Then there's Mayhem. You knew Mayhem. He's in Alabama now. He's not as active, but he's like a people's favorite low key back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You used to work with Mayhem. And then, Benefit is like from Springfield, you know, and Benefit's like, what's dope about the crew, it's so diverse, you know, like Benefit is a major street dude that did a bunch of years and shit like that, did a lot of stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, like when he was younger, that like a lot of these drug rappers talk about that he lived, but he's gone his whole life together where he's like a cook now, he does awesome things, but he's also like, he's like a real dude that represents, and just like anything. You know, you see me, you see like, okay, he's whatever, white dude from, now I'm living in Peabody, but we hang around with all those dudes. Those are our homies, you know? So those cosigns from my own crew, you know, like it was like cool for me to be like, y'all don't understand, this is who we hang out with, just because we don't rep that on every song, you know? And Undo Cotty is from New Hampshire. He was in Trap Jaw with still is connected with them. Him and Ape Shit. And then Desco, he's not as active anymore, but he's still my man. Core is amazing. He did the chorus on the song I did with Pete Rock. And I think that's it. I don't know if that's 7, but that should be pretty much. And the Tab's like an affiliate, you know, the Tab, obviously, you know.
Yeah, I heard of him before.
Yep.
So I'm gonna look through this list of names. I'm gonna start with the producers first. I've probably left out a few, but these are some of the producers you worked with: Marley Marl, Large Pro, High Tech, Marco Polo, Buck Wild, 7L, Snow Goons, Pete Rock, Paulo Brown, Black Milk, 88 Keys, Ill Minds, and now Eric Sermon.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Yeah, and there's more, and I have more beats from those dudes, that some of those dudes you mentioned. So when I did Lodge Pro, I met at Halftime Radio in New York, and I tell this story a bunch, but I got to say it on here. They have they have the Halftime Radio show where everybody comes through, and it's no longer, but this is like back in I think 2000.
That was a clip. Was that Eclipse's show?
Eclipse's show.
Yeah.
And
I remember.
they have this shit where they have it once a year, and they have every MC he invites to come rock, and it's like a line to get in, and the producers play the beat on the spot, or like they play a beat that they have in their MPC or whatever, and the rappers go in and cypher one by one in the booth. I'm talking like everybody, Master Ace, Immortal Technique. We're at the one that I was at, and it was insane, man. Apathy, OC, Vinny Paz, you know, dude, you know who was there back then? He didn't even get on the mic because he came with Pierre. He came with his manager, and he wasn't known then as known, especially in New York. Mercules was there. Dude, it was the craziest lineup I've ever seen. Lodge Professor. Anyway, like I said, Eclipse had talked about me coming with, I was gonna go with Crumb, like just me. He invited me, and like I was gonna, carpool with Crumb or maybe Acro, and I ended up going by myself, and I was the only dude again from Boston, which was wild. I was absolutely nervous because like I wanted to spit the hardest fucking verse I've ever done in my life. I had, a couple verses in my head, and Marco Polo, I'll never forget this. He unplugged. So like it's, we're in a line, to go in the booth. Marco Polo unplugged when Craig G finished and Lodge Pro plugged in. This is crazy. And the first bars, it's like, yo, Lodge Pro is on the, and I'm thinking Illmatic because he does 1/3 of like, one of the greatest albums of all times, period. And I just blacked out and said I was sober. I wasn't drinking shit. You know what I mean? Meaning everyone was partying and chilling, meaning I just wanted to be so on point. And I wasn't sober like at all. I drank after. I just didn't drink before. And man, I snapped. And I'll never forget, after leaving the booth, Chris Rivers was like younger than, jumping on me like, yo. And C. Ray's Walls was like, Pro, you got to give him that beat. And then I messaged Pro, and I didn't hear nothing from him because when he left, he dapped. He's like, I got you. All love, no problem. Like, no business, nothing. And C. Ray's was commenting like on the post, like, when they seen like the cipher. He's like, you got to give him that beat. My man Nutso mentioned because Nutso's my boy from Queens. He's like, yo, Nutso. He went and vouched for me. And he's Nutso, man, this dude is a legend. He's, Capone and Noriega, like Primo, they're in his videos and shit. They're like his homies in Queens and shit. Like, so Royal Flush. Anyway, he fucking told Pro goes on to like another radio, and they're like, who are you going to work with? And he's like, yo, I'm going to do something for M-Dot. He said this on the radio. So I saved this clip, and I was like, I was posting it like, yo, Pro's going to do something for me. And I finally got him to message me back on Twitter. I gave him my number. He called me. He sent over like 3 beats. And that's how we got that. No, like just straight up on some love shit, sent it over. And I still have 2 more. I keep telling them I got to rock these 2 other beats. But that's how the Lodge Pro shit happened, was at that cipher. Seizing the fucking moment, man. That's
crazy.
That's some real shit, man.
Seize the opportunity, brother.
And you know what? I was thinking, it's like, when I was coming up in the city, I did feel like, shit, man, like we're left out of conversations, you know what I mean? And I was like, there was always a chip, like, but at the end of the day, like you said, why is he moving so much? It's because we kept on moving. And I wasn't worried about as much what other people were doing, just me trying to get better. And you've heard the music then and the music now. I feel like, just like any of the dudes who were popping, I feel like I'm much better than I was 10 years ago.
Yeah, you've got, and there's something I give you credit for, man. You kind of kept your sound like boom bap classic sound. Like you didn't really deviate from, your sound. Yeah, I think that's important. You know what I mean?
I didn't copy a trend, and now it's like our best quality.
Right.
Like Southern Records it's our best quality that we have that audience. So when you know what I'm saying? Like we have that. I'm advancing it. We're doing bigger records with like singing, like more hooks that are bigger and bigger beats. But it's something that like we're staying for the people that love that style of music. You know what I'm saying? Right. And we can do that trap shit all day. Fucking you want to pay me to get on a trap shit, or you want to send me a beat and it's dope, I'll rock on that shit too.
Yeah. I also want to talk about some of the MCs you've worked with. We've got Elzai, Cool G Rap, Conway, Esoteric, Big Suge, Casey Veggies, and Method Man.
I never worked with Casey Veggies.
I thought that again, something needs to be adjusted in your bio. It's just like 2 Dope Boys.
So 2 Dope Boys had 2 Dope to sleep on, and 2 Dope to sleep on was like the unsigned hype for 2 Dope Boys. Remember 2 Dope Boys was like the shit.
Yeah, it's still there. Like, I mean, it's still good. I still check it every once in a while.
Oh, it's still on. I shouldn't even have. But I
remember when they were the shit.
It's so funny that the blogs,
no blog era.
The blogs are a little bit. You could control. Oh, the kids are crying down there. You could control the. You can control the music. What is this? You can control the. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
I was getting a beep. I'm like, I hope this doesn't cut me out. Back then, the blogs controlled like people hearing you more. Now your social media obviously does that. And Rev helps with a lot of social media stuff because it becomes too much that I'm on my phone too much. You know what I'm saying? It takes away from the time with my kids. And I'm on it too much because now I do the emails there. I book shows there. But anyway, the Casey Veggie shit was too dope to sleep on, and we got the two, that nomination with him, and then he was on like Lil Wayne's label, so that was like a crazy. He obviously went bigger and way bigger than I did, but anyway, the songs like Method Man, like I had like briefly like met him on tour, but that was the producer who put me on that record. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like
okay.
the producer did a song with Method Man. I tell this one too, but
still, still,
this is a great story. So this dude DC, Soul Plus Mine, I looked out for him during the MySpace era when he thought I was something big because he saw me moving and he was in Cali. And when I came out to Cali, I got him in a video and we shot. We shot the video. I got him in the video, and then I did a song for him, and I got it on a lot of the big blogs. And he's like, "I'll never forget this." And then he started doing licensing for movies. He was producing songs for movies, and he did a song for like a Method Man movie, and they did the song, and he was like, "Yo, there's an open verse. I'm gonna ask Method Man if we could put you on it," and that was it. And it took like 5 months. He got the approval, just off the strength, and then I got on the record, and they didn't use it. I'm like, I want to use this for my shit. How real is that? I'm telling you, now I don't got it like that. I got it because I was good to this producer, and he was good to me later. That's one of our best qualities. We've built so many bridges, man. That's the truth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Another highlight I would have to say is when Primo recently scratched your one of your lyrics on the Logic song, Final Days, right?
How can I complain ever? Like, I don't see any. Who can tell? That's not buying a beat. That's not like somebody. Somebody choosing your vocals.
I was thinking about
40
that.
seconds. For 40 seconds, like the whole outro. So that's crazy. And I texted him after that, like, because I had no idea. I was like, yo, this shit's dope. He's like, all love, dog. And it was just like,
what
really
song
dope,
was it that he scratched?
The song with me and Pete Rock, which is crazy. So I guess, when we send out records, I'll always send the DJ pack with the acapella. I guess he just must have snatched the acapella. But the cool part is the line he took was like 3 minutes in. It's not like, you know what I mean? He had to go and find that line. So it's just, I listen, like I said, if that's to me like a cementing moment, like how many voices is he scratched from?
A lot.
For real? No, I meant like regular blue collar Massachusetts MCs, period,
I'd have to do I don't know. I'd have to look. Maybe Slain.
Guru,
Slain Guru, yeah.
No, I just meant like Jay-Z. I just meant Nas.
Yeah.
No, I just meant like, other than his own crew.
Right.
Absolutely. Probably Slain. I just meant like, I'm a regular dude, dog. So that shit's crazy. I didn't have no label. I didn't have no machine. I didn't have.
No, I know. But you had a P Rock joint.
That's true. So I met Pete Rock in Switzerland. So that helped too. But like, again, like I'm sure cats could have Pete Rock if they have bread. But nah, man, we met in Switzerland and we did a show together. Some wild shit. I'll tell you some shit, man. Pete Rock and CL had separate rooms at the show, whatever. And I kicked it. I kicked it with Pete Rock after my show, and he was like, his arm around me, posting the picture of me on his page, like, yo, I'm with M-Dog. I don't even think he knew who the fuck I was. He just saw my show, and he was wild and like, and I was on cloud nine. I'm like, Pete Rock on his own page or whatever. And I know Pete Rock be wilding on social media, but he posted me on his page. And then a year later, I just kept on messaging him like, yo, what's up, man? Like, we're supposed to, you'd always said, always a year before you said, yo, I want to work, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, he's not going to remember me. So I hit up my homie, Daru Jones, who was his drummer. Daru Jones, who's like, that's another story, but Daru Jones is one of my boys. But Daru Jones fucking drums for the Roots, drums for, was it the White Stripes? For everybody. Daru Jones is like, so he was drumming for Pete Rock on tour. And he was like, yo, I'll talk to him right now. He's standing right next to him. I'm like, stop it. So boom, he sent over the files like the next week. And I turned down 3 emails of Pete Beats. That's a fact.
Why?
I swear. Just I didn't vibe with him. One of them was a sample that I was like, one of them was the song Pennies that Sky Zoo and him used on their shit. And they sample the same record that that Primo used. Again, just for me, I just didn't want to use that same sample. That's all. You know, the beats were still dope. They just it didn't vibe with me for what I wanted to write. I wanted to make sure we got one that I was dying to write to. So Daru Jones, last thing, Daru Jones, I had a show in Pittsburgh and they were paying me $50 to go to the show. This is 2006 or 2007. And
it's a lot of money back then.
I did the show and didn't miss. I had strep throat. I drove the fucking 10 hours. I did it because I said I'd be there, you know, and it was like for barely any money. Daru Jones was at the show drumming. I met him and we stayed friends for life, you know, and Gene Stovall also, who lives in Europe too now. But I just thought that was cool because Daru stayed cool with me since then, you know.
Wow, man. That shows your networking, man, and your connections and maintaining your relationships have gotten you these power moves from what I'm hearing. These power plays. But
you know, you've seen it, you know. So like again, when we did those shows however many years ago, and we were just moving and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw it.
We were you'd put us on first. I didn't give a fuck. I don't care where I'm going. We're gonna do our thing, you know.
Right.
So some of those people that were going after us, they don't rap no more. You know?
No, I know. I mean, it was just, you know, it was competitive talk. You know, it's all it was. You know, it's like you're competitive.
But that shit, maybe it's sports, that shit built in me like this huge chip. You know what I'm saying? Like damn.
See, I knew it. I knew you had a chip.
No. The competitive nature of feeling I need to be bigger. Why am I not going on before not other rappers, more like why am I not in that position? Why am I not, you know, paid? Why am I not featured on that album? You know, I'm like, shit.
Right.
But guess what? I looked in the mirror and I'm like, I got to work harder. Other rappers, they just complained, smoked a blunt, went to bed, fucking didn't care about getting better. Another thing is a lot of rappers peaked back then, you know?
You know, everyone's got a different path. My real question to you is, why did you do so many shows at Sammy's patio?
I didn't. I did like.
You did a lot, dude. I remember like M. Dot at Sammy's patio.
No, V's. You're talking about V's. V's for sure.
Oh, is that what it was?
That was V's, 100%. V's.
Oh, okay.
Not Sammy's patio. No disrespect. That's the worst. I'm sorry, Sammy's, but it's like.
Is it still there?
I've probably done Sammy's, I think, twice. When you said that, I'm like, V's. I know it's the one because V's.
You were doing some little spot out there. You were
yes, it was in Malden. They got rid of it. I used to do it with K9. Shout out to my brother K9.
That's what it was.
Shit, we had like, because we're from the North Shore, we had like 100 people there every time. It was I loved it. Me and Grime. Yeah. That's when me and Grime used to go.
Yeah, shout out Grime.
I talked to him today. But
nice.
That's another thing. Staying in touch with everyone. You know, that's a key thing too. Even if it's just checking in on people. Look at us. We're still connected. And like I said, I was with you on your darker times where you weren't as nice as you are now. You know what I'm saying?
Very
That's
nice.
the truth. You know, for real. When it was just like before you got sober, right? How long you been sober?
14 years, just turned.
Congrats, man. I wish
Thank you.
And you never thought I drank. I'm a drinker, dog, but I don't let it fuck up my shit during the show. I drink after the show, you know? Yeah. I'm afraid to drink before the show because I don't want to be sloppy.
Yeah. Trying to think if you were even drinking when I first met you.
For sure, brother. I just didn't do it at the show.
Oh, okay.
No, because I've seen footage and I'm like, this shit's sloppy for me. You know.
He also mentioned that you're referenced in the Wu-Tang book. Is that true?
So this is great that you said that. There you go. You know, shout out to Mateo Urella. So they questioned me about the song Me and Method Man, you know.
Oh, okay.
By the way, we got another song. We've had it for a couple of years. I just haven't put it out. We need to put that shit out already.
Yeah, dude, what are you doing?
Wait till you see what else we have, you know. So
hurry up and get that shit.
So this was strategic. You're right. Everyone says that with most of the shit. So this was strategic, like this new album that we did, Ego and the Enemy 2, which I'm sure you'll talk about anyway. This was a planned attack. So like my girl's gonna kill me, literally, like, and we had the new baby, but the last 2 weeks we've done, you know, performed in Worcester, performed in New Hampshire, had the radio with Suge's Danger Zone, had the radio with Craig Mosher's 100th, had your radio, you know, did the Providence radio, the franchise report, I sent you that, dropped 2 music videos, the first of its kind with the green screen inside of the AI. Boston Globe drops on Tuesday. Friday, we have a sold-out show in New Jersey with Peja, who's coming from Poland, who just hit me up to do it. It was just,
You forgot one major thing.
And the Middle East show, yes. No, of course.
Wednesday, Middle East, Onyx, R.A. the Rugged Man, M.NBS.Def. You forgot that one.
We got to save that for last. But
we're gonna talk about that multiple times.
I did that show with R.A. in Switzerland, and man, he showed me mad love. That dude, great performer. I've done shows with Onyx before, great performers. I got you can quote me on this. I think I have like 70, 80 people going. Maybe they just haven't seen me locally in a while. Maybe they just want to see Onyx. I don't know.
Well, it's a combination of both.
Yeah. But I'm hyped for that shit, man. But anyways, I didn't want to just drop an album. We're doing a promo run as if it was like a major label drop. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
And we have 6 more videos shot. We have the next album ready with the production lineup that's crazier than this one. And then we have we go to Shade 45, May 31st. We're going out there for a couple days. And it's like, fuck, man, we're still going stronger than ever. The music's getting better because I want it to be better. And I'm trying to gain traction by working harder, working more, doing more,
Absolutely.
Inspire that anybody could do it.
Right. The Method Man track, is that the one that was featured in Blacklist?
That's True Lies with Camp Low, You
got placement in a major television show.
Yeah, they played like 10 seconds of it, but it was Camp Low's part, but that's my record. So, but they had to re-sample the beat, so it's not like the one we had was like a sample in it, But that's crazy. Yeah. I did a song. I started producing during COVID because I couldn't tour, and I did a song for a movie that was at Sundance. It's Montreal Girls. It's not a porno, So, but yeah.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Montreal Girls.
Yeah, it's called Montreal Girls. But yeah, man.
Weren't you in a movie or something too? I read like Chris Calico or something.
So Chris Calico and fucking love that dude. I gotta hit him up. It's been a minute, but I became friends with Max Zilla, who's Tech-Nine's legitimate first cousin, and they were like, "Yo, we got to get you. You're a personality. You're from Boston. You got this accent.
That's for sure.
We're flying you out to fucking Kansas." When I'm out there, I was like, "Yeah, all right." Like I just thought of a grain of salt, but he's a genuine dude. He kept his word. He's like, "Yo," he brought me out there. I kicked it with Tech-Nine's whole family. I wish back then, this was like 2007, 2006, maybe. I wish back then I had I still have the hustle, but I wish back then I had secured a record or done something back then.
I'm really surprised you didn't.
I know.
You haven't yet. I'm shocked.
To be real with you, I swear to God, not that it matters, but I had no idea how big they were back then. You know what I'm saying? When I went
that's right. Because if it's 2006, they're not massive at that point yet.
No, but that was they were doing it. But I'm telling you, dog, right after that, I remember the Palladium, and he's like, "Yo," come to the show. He put me on the list. Because you've done these shows, sold out a month out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wall to wall. These
Juggalos.
These dudes are knowing every word, dog.
Yeah.
He's the biggest. In my opinion, Tech-Nine, I don't know what currently, but he was the biggest for a 10-year stretch in this genre of music underground. We had his own fan base without being on daytime radio. Now I consider, MF Doom, Czarface now, they're they're not performing as much as Tech-Nine, but where they have a niche and they have people that they have a cult following,
Oh yeah. I want to go back to the video real quick because you talked about it. I looked at it today and I was watching it. And it was like a mind fuck.
It's crazy. And we always have videos like that. You remember the 360 we did?
Yeah, and we'll talk about that too. So I'll talk about Silver Bullet, the 360 one. How did you shoot that? Talk about what that video was.
Which one? Silver Bullet first or the 360?
Either one, whatever one to go first.
So the 360, shout out to Victor Keys. That's my brother. Literally, that's who drove out to Vermont with me to pick up these records. He shoots the Silver Bullet shit. I edit these videos with him. I'm not kidding when I say I drive to Worcester, 3-4 times a month. It's like an hour and 20 minutes and shit. And I'll sit there with him for 7 straight hours editing the video. And he does it because I'm fucking motivated. Like that shit would sit there on his computer for a year if I don't, because he don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? He'll be like, yo, this shit. He don't. Anyway, we did the 1, 2, 3 where we shot each section separately, and then we stitched it together. I can't explain to you how cool that was because it still really hasn't been done that I've seen with the 7 people in the video. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so we shot each scene, and I could only move a certain amount of feet left and right. You know, and then we stitched it all together in this program he had from Germany. And that shit was crazy because Boston Herald had it on the front page. I got it in one of these frames up here, but it's crazy. It's crazy. And the Silver Bullet, we shot on a green screen. And then so like Cats, AI, that shit got boring to me. I see people just, and myself included, like type in something, it has all these effects. No, we did it on a green screen and then we edited it like a real video and then put the AI over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Yeah, it's bugged out. And you got to see it. I can't. It's hard to explain until you see it. Like it's like, whoa, this is just weird. You almost look like a friggin'. You look like a monster almost.
It's like a comic
yeah.
strip. You know, like kind of. I don't want to say like Spider-Verse or like remember the Aha video for like in the 80s where he's inside of the. It has that effect. But that shit like easily almost 100 hours editing that video.
Whoa.
And another one that we stashed. Yeah. Like, but that was us being nitpicky, like this shit. So I'm gonna tell you this.
You picky? No.
No. Yeah, man. Yeah. So I was sitting in the throne shot, and we're like, this doesn't transfer. This doesn't work. So we went and shot a shot, like a profile shot, where you had it where you had above my neck where you could see my lips move, because otherwise it wouldn't have looked like me sitting just in the throne shot, you know. So it was a big move that we did that, or it wouldn't have been, I think, as good. Actually, halfway through, I'm like, this shit sucks. We're not doing this shit. Like, we got to do something else. Crazy.
We just spent 50 hours on this. It sucks. We're not doing it. I'm out.
Yeah. No, it's not good enough. My goal is to people be like, what the fuck? That Eric Sermon song, we had that for 4 years. That the Black Milk.
What the fuck on that? I'll say what the fuck for 4 years. Let's say
no. So I wanted to. We put out projects during that time. I wanted to have it on something where it was like, this shit has him and Pete Rock and Apollo Brown and Ill Mind and G Coop. G Coop's one of the only hip hop heads with no G Coop.
I know G Coop. I know who G Coop is.
This dude, everybody. He did I Got the Keys for Jay-Z. He did. That's my brother. Like, I go to Oakland, I stay at his crib and shit. He went to Berkeley. And that dude is probably the biggest one on the list. Katy Perry, Rihanna, Drake.
Yeah, he's the guy. For those who don't know, G Coop's the guy they call when they got a sample that they need to replay.
You got it. You know, but like most people.
Shout out to him. He's the one. There's a lot of beats out there. It wasn't for him, probably would never seen the light of day.
Legitimately. So like all those producers, Marco Polo, Ill Mind, they would have him do replays. Jake One is his partner. Jake One's like the first one who kind of was like, you know. So the Archetype
turned me on to G Coop.
Oh, really? Yeah, he loves G Coop because I was with G Coop when Archetype.
Yeah, Ark's a big Jake One fan too.
Jake One's fucking amazing.
Where's the Jake One beat, Dot? Where's this? We need to add this to this list. I mean, come on.
I'll pull it up.
Oh no, you got one. Oh,
but he gave it to me so long ago that I don't.
Forgot about it. Okay, so all right. So now that the little madness I've learned about you, do you think that you're overthinking some of this strategy a little bit? Because you should not be sitting on these type of beats for so frigging long. I'm sorry.
All right, so here's my logic. Here's my logic. We're staying active, obviously. We're touring. We're still putting up projects. I put out that Eric Sermon shit, right? This is the counter to that. It did great. Cool. It's gone. It's done. It's over. My piece is gone. My chip's gone. It has 1,000 views on fucking YouTube. That's a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want it to be to a point where more people hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, not that, I know that's crazy thinking, but I wanted to be at a bigger, and now we are, you know? Like, so I just meant by that, like, so we pre-sold almost 100 records, 100, they're $45 a pop, you know? So if I don't have 400 fans, because I want to sell 400, if I don't have 400 fans, I need to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but if you can accumulate 400 to 1,000 fans who buy $100 worth of stuff a year, do the math, you know?
Got it.
And it's
No,
like,
I get it.
but I agree about that. I just wanted to put out a project that was undeniable, and you're 100% right. I do overthink that part of it, you know, and even in the booth, even in the recording process.
Yeah.
The one thing I do know though is with the shows is when we really let it loose with just like kind of a loose freedom of like wanting to kill it. Obviously we rehearse, but with the recording and with the videos, I take a lot of time with it and stashing it, like making like, I want to have, Ray does it too, which I really respect. He puts out an incredible album once every 4 years. I need to get better at just like fucking put that shit out, you know? But
my just put out singles in between your
sure.
masterpieces.
Oh, no, we do. We put out the Peacock one.
I just wouldn't be able to hold back for that long sitting.
Oh, sure.
I'd be like,
wait till you see the next ones. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's not like you're stopping.
Bigger than all these
like,
producers, you know. But I agree with it. But I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, we still, you know, like I love my anonymity, but people still don't give a fuck. Like I got a song with Eric Sermon. I said it at the Worcester show, and people they're clapping and shit, but they don't care. I have to tell them that he's just like music. I have to tell them he's Def Squad and EPMD, and that doesn't mean that fucking he isn't the greatest. He's one of my favorite, and he's mad cool. I just meant that these people don't give a fuck anymore about the producer. Maybe it's me who's more of a fan, you know?
Well, that's fine. I mean, I still, as a fan, I'd still want to put it out and hear it. I know that would be the hardest thing to be patient about, to be honest.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean. I just meant I want to take time with like a project.
Well, I'm glad it came out, and you look forward to listening to the album. When does it drop?
It's dropped Friday. The
vinyl
dropped Friday, and then we have digital May 5th. I'm gonna send you the Dropbox. You can peep the whole album. But Boston Globe's running an article Tuesday. This is another thing with us, you know, building towards this record. Was I talked to King Cap Bianco? They were saying it's one of the best albums of the year. So this is like, if the Boston Globe says that, people say they don't read the paper no more. New York Times owns the Boston Globe. That's still a good look for me, you know?
Yeah, no, it's not gonna hurt.
Fucking A. And we're still going, brother.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's what I give you the most props on. You know what I mean? Is you keep going. One thing I wanted to talk about that I was curious about. Are your day job? Are you a steel worker or an iron worker?
So I'm a glazer, which is like, it's the same idea as iron worker. We work on a composite crew with them, but like I put the windows in the high-rise buildings. You know what I'm saying? Like when I say it's not cleaning the windows, it's putting the windows when you see them on like a crane. You know, I'm standing on the ledge of the building. But what's crazy is COVID hit in 2020. I saved, because I'm cheap, saved a bunch of money from music. I had to come home from Germany, started producing. That's where I actually started making money on the side. Never posted a beat page, nothing, just people messaging me. Wait till I tell you who I did the beat for. 38 Special. I produced something for 38 Special, you know?
Dope.
So again, whatever. Like, that's a crazy look for me because now he's with fucking Kevin Durant and shit. Like, anyway, he's
doing backflips on Instagram. He's killing it.
Really?
I saw some video of him doing a backflip. I was like, I can see you doing a backflip. I can't see 38 Special doing the backflip.
Oh shit. No. So that's another thing for me is like I'm able to do a beat for him just by being me. Like I didn't it's for, you know, like I didn't pay him none. You know what I mean? Like it's like this fucking hood dude, there's dudes who dream about doing a beat for 38 Special. You know what I'm saying? And I'm running towards who I am, you know?
Right.
But anyway, I was on the building shit. I went to buy a crib. I talked about it in Silver Bullet. I had, you know, money saved. I couldn't get the crib because they wanted job history. I'm like, what job history? So I got the pension and the annuity. So for me to still be doing this music and do this radio run and do these shows, and it's fucking tough with the job at 5 a.m.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was getting at. Is that is not a comparable lifestyle, really?
Not me working at Starbucks, you know.
Starbucks would almost be easier.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, if I worked at Starbucks, this shit would be a cakewalk because I could just do my shit. You know what I'm saying? I could, you know, whatever, be on my phone. It's a little bit more loose. With the union, it's like they're very serious about, like, you can't. I'm not fucking late. But yeah, it's something that's really dope for me to say that I'm doing this and that. And I still tour Europe. When I went in last year, when I went in June, we sold all our shit at the me and Master Ace and Marco Polo. We sold all our shit at the show, of course, because I'm putting my merch right next to theirs, so they come over to them. They're getting shit from me too.
Strategy.
You know? And then we Ace, dude, coolest dude on earth, as you know. And Biz, dude, he's fucking on point with his shit. We're doing, push-ups for the show, drinking water, and
spraying Lysol in the mic.
Yeah. I love that. One of the most sincere people that I've met in this music, because there are good people out there. There really are. And it's you just have to weed through all the bullshit. It's true.
Well, you've done a good job at that.
But I appreciate it. And that's the people I've kept around me too. But I was with them in Switzerland, and a couple people came up to me and they're like, "You do this fucking job and you're here performing." And that was what they were more connected with and impressed with. People were afraid to showcase that they work. I think
I'm not. After COVID, I went full time.
I'm talking about rappers.
Yeah, I think that's so ridiculous.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, Doug.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's why I say it's ridiculous. Because the reality is, the reality is most rappers can't do it full time.
And we've been making, this is the most, I've been doing good, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even bragging, but like, at the end of the day, like, it's as a man, for me with kids, for me, like, I'll tell you one thing, when I got in the union, they my child support fucking went through the roof, so it's like, now but I bought the crib. I got a crib now, and I worked my ass off for that shit, man. Like, and that shit, but it didn't stop me from doing what I love. And my girl, we've been together 10 years. She's my best friend. She supports me, and it's give and take. We're like, these couple weeks, man, it's been tough because we have the baby. She's not sleeping through the night, and I'm helping, but like, I could be helping more, but she knows that I'm going out for the music stuff. I'm not going out, just to party. I'm not going out when I tell her about the tour, I tell her 6 months ahead of time. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so it's I'm not like, I'm like that Martin shit, that stand-up shit where he's like, "See ya, bye." And like, and then she fucking leaves him. I just meant that, like, for me, I have to keep that on point with her and communicate. Communication's everything in any relationship, And when I'm on tour, I'm not fucking around. I'm coming home with money. I'm not coming home and like spent all my shit. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not partying. I'm not trying to meet chicks out there. I'll look, but
whoa.
Yeah, that's the real
shit. Let's not get you divorced on this podcast here, buddy.
No, man, she ain't gonna hear this. I ain't gonna send her the link. No, so no, but I'm gonna send. That's another thing you got me on this. Me and Rev are gonna send this everywhere.
Yeah. Well, man, it's really good catching up with you, man. I'm really proud to see your growth and you stay in the game and keep true to your music and who you are. It's a big inspiration for any blue collar MC out there that's trying to do this shit independently, man. You've done a great job, man. And your networking skills are incredible too. And
that's just the night. Thank you for saying that, man. It's just, even like us, like I said, we kept a relationship even through fucking years of we didn't talk, every week or every day. But if I kept on going and I come across your feed or I send you something, you're like, oh, maybe I'll have him on this because he's still working. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just because, like, if I'm not in a clique or something, you almost respect each other's grind. And same thing to you, man. Like, you've come a long way with how on point you are with the shows, your consistency with that, with the Middle East and with everything, man. So I just think that's advice I'd give to anybody is, keep your relationships good. It's not worth it to, I swear, man, rappers think, or people in general think small-minded. Everything matters. When I told you the Method Man story, that's me being good to some kid who was a fan, Right. And I got on a song for Method Man. And I got so many stories like that, The Daru Jones show, when I did the shit for $50 and I had strep throat. I know I'm going on and on, but that's something that's special for me, especially with us growing and growing and growing. Now we're actually cementing ourselves in some way, whether it's the Primo on the Logic shit. That's something that forever that I can be stamped on. You know what I'm saying? Like, or doing shit for a TV show. And there's more to do, by the way, way more.
Absolutely.
And
well, I think if anything has shown our success, probably it's persistence. I think I tell people that all the time. It's like, you know, people like, I'm like, it was just persistence. I just kept doing it. So by default, I became successful. It's because someone else stopped and I just kept going.
Nipsey Hussle, the marathon. They go, how are you successful? He goes, I just kept on going. That's the truth. And I swear to you, man, I'm not just saying this, that image shit, and I'm not hating on it. I'm not even knocking it. If I did that, it's imprisoning for me because then I have to be that character always. When I go to the grocery store, when I see that dude in Switzerland and he's like, yo, I saw you on the ledge of the building. That's so much cooler for me because he's like, I connect with that. My cousin, you know, works and he wants to buy more shit because they feel the human part of it.
Right.
And my music, it may take a while for people to catch on, but I put so much effort into every song, even if it's a feature, I'll use it for my own stuff, you know? The Conway shit, let me tell you this, that shit, my homie Watson, I did a feature for him years ago in Germany, and they you know, he compensated me for the record, and I stayed in touch with him. It was supposed to be one verse. I did a whole song, I did a chorus. You know, everyone else on the album, they only hit him up when they wanted money for a feature. They didn't share the song. They said the wrong country, and some of the, you know, the feature, they sent the MP3 as the acapella. You know, the acapella is the MP3. Like, I just meant, like, I was the only one who stayed in touch with him. And then years later, he had gotten Watson, he had gotten Conway on a song for like Dirt before Conway blew up. And I was like, yo, hold on to that record. And then Conway fucking blew up, did the song with Eminem, and he put me on that song, you know? So that's
another one.
That's another one. And that's me really.
So 6 degrees of M dot, 6 degrees of M dot.
But
it's connected to everything.
That's a genuine thing that I tell people, that rappers, I keep saying rappers, but people are afraid to say that. They're afraid to be like, yo, I had to like, I didn't say I got it like that. I said I worked my ass off to get it in that position. And then when I get on the song, I'm still gonna do my style of music. I'm gonna talk about my friend who OD'd. I'm gonna talk about the other effects of the drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like we've had plenty of shit. I mean, I did City Hall Plaza with Wiz Khalifa. I got in a fight with a cop. I got arrested. All the hood blogs were hitting me up for the footage. I punched in the cop, getting hit. And they let me out, but like we never promoted that shit. And I'm glad I didn't, because if I saw that now, and my son's 16 now, I'd be embarrassed of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just think that there's better ways for you to get attention. And the best way for me, the only trait that you have that's special is being exactly who you are, dog. People forget that shit. Look at you. When you get older, you want to look back and cringe and be like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but anyway, I'm so excited for the Middle East show, man. And I'm gonna do rehearsal again tomorrow. That's some real shit. And
you always tear it down, brother. You always tear it down.
It's gonna be great. I gotta talk to you after we hang up about the times and stuff, if you know. You know. But thank you for having me, man. You know.
Definitely. Well, we're gonna end this up. I was saying thank you to everybody for tuning into the Leedz Edutainment podcast. A very special guest, M. Dot. Thanks for being a guest, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, cool.